So just to bring you guys up to speed on a few things, I've recently left the Shooting and Country TV channel and come back to my own channel, so keep an eye on it because we're going to be rebranding and doing some pretty cool stuff. Right, well, this evening we've come out to do a little bit of poult protection. The farm here has just got all his pheasant poults in, well, a couple of weeks back, and within a few days of the first lot of poults being delivered, the wind got up a little bit and some of the poults blew out of the pen, landed on the grass just outside, and overnight we lost 50 pheasants to a fox. So we've just come out to see if we can thin a few of the foxes out in the area. Now I've loaded up a few new rounds, so I'm just going to double check, make sure they are doing what they should be doing. We've got a few steel targets out on the range here. Going to rattle off a mag, dump a mag on them, and just check everything's good, and then we'll go and sit out by the pen before it gets dark. Right, okay, what should we have a crack at? Let's have a look. We've got a fox target out there, that'll do to start with. That is 278 metres, and the Titan 3K element, Titan 3K here is telling me 4 MOA. So we'll dial that in. Not quite sure what the wind's doing at the moment, it's a bit hard to tell, sat in the cabin here. Let's just zoom this camera in as well, just so you can see what's going on downrange. So there's a little bit of wind out there. I can feel it blowing in through the window. I think I'm probably going to pretty much just go straight at that. Okay, let's see what happens. Right. Nice central shot on that. What else we got? Let's have a look. So we've got another fox target out there. That's 330. Let's go a bit further. We've got a gong on the hill there. 375 metres. That's only 690, so we go 7. There we go. Let's just come up, find the gong. That is there. That wind's just picking up a little bit. That's good. A little bit high. Let's just tweak the app a little bit there. Okay. Let's go out to this one as well. This one's 418 metres, 835, yeah, 418 metres, that's calling for 8.35, so we go 825. Alright, fox target there. Okay. Good. Okay, spot on. Great stuff. So we're happy with the ammunition and the rifle, scope, everything's all working in harmony. So let's go and set out, see if we can find a fox. Alright, so it's starting to get dark, so we'll do a quick scope swap. The great thing with these sports match mounts, just swap scopes out without any loss of zero. This is a thermal scope, this is the Nocpix S60, and it's a really fantastic bit of kit. I do not want to give this back. Right, okay, it's empty, we're ready to go. I've just got a text there from the farmer to say he's down at the pen now, just checking the birds. So I'm going to give it half hour or whatever it takes him to finish up there, and then I'll drive down and have a sit by the pen. But until he's done, I'll just give it a little while. Just sat on the top of this bank here. I think I've seen one or two about on this bank, so it could well be a good spot just to have a sit and wait. So we'll see. I've just looked down the bottom of this bank here, and something's just put a load of partridges up that are flying up onto the bank, and I can see something moving around down in the sunflowers down there. And I'm not sure that that's not a fox. He's a bloody fox, you know. He's just come up onto the bank. He's chasing about down there. He's in the long grass there. The bugger, he's putting up partridges. He's trying to catch the partridges. He's still a long way down there though. How far is he? Let's have a look. Getting on for about 300, and he's just on the edge of the bank there. Try and give him a squeak. That's got his interest. Here he comes. And the boy, you keep going. Hey! Well, that was a good start. It's not even properly dark yet. Well, it's too dark really to see, but it's literally just after dusk, and I knew there was something down in that cover. I could see the birds getting up. Something was pushing them up out the cover, and I could just see the back of something going through it. At first I thought it was a badger, and then it came and sat on the edge of the sunflowers there, and then rushed off across the track chasing rabbits about and that. And then it was up on the bank in the long grass, and it was flushing pheasant, partridges, and trying to snatch them up. And it was quite impressive actually. I saw it a couple of times just jump up in the air as it put a bird up, and it was pretty close a couple of times. As it happens, I'll give it a squeak, and it come along sort of just over the ridge of the bank there, so gave me a nice sort of clear view, and he was coming in at such a rate I just thought I'd let him keep coming, and he come right in. I think he was 162 yards or something, and I just stopped him with a shout. Hey! And just walloped him straight in the chest. So we wandered down, picked that one up, see if it was a dog or a vixen, and then we're going to have a little sit by the pen now. The farmer's finished. So excellent start to the evening. Down first and just pick that fox up and then head round to the pen for a little look-see. Be a little bit careful driving around here because there's some pretty big rabbit burrows and they've dug in pretty deep into the bank. I'm not sure if I want to drive over some of them. You could end up suddenly in a big sinkhole. That fox should be somewhere over in this direction. Right, let's walk out and have a look. There it is. So a fox there. And typically the 260 has done quite a number on it. I'm not going to show that because that is going to be quite graphic, but that is a dog fox, or it was a dog fox. Good sized fox that as well, good healthy fox. It's obviously dined quite well on pheasants and partridges by the looks of it, but he won't be anymore. Right, I've got a pretty good spot here overlooking the pen. You can see all around the pen, which is quite good because foxes tend to either come up from the valley to this side of it, or they come down from the top down to the pen. The only problem that you have got here is that there's some power lines that run directly through above the pen, which means you need to, if they're coming down the hill, you need to get them before they get to those power lines, which is around about probably 250 yards or 250 metres or more. If you can get them in the valley just down to the left there, then it's not quite so bad because they're below the power lines. But it is a little bit of a tricky position, but it does give you a very good vantage point. So if nothing else, you can see foxes coming in, and you can always move from here and try and get a shot just off the bipod down the bank. But anyway, we'll get comfortable and wait and see what we can see. Now, any professional fox controller will tell you there's a couple of things you need. The first one is a flask of coffee, and the other one is a packet of Haribos. If you haven't got them, you are not a professional foxer. Right, it looks like we've got one coming down from the top of the bank at the minute. That's a fox. He's a long way off at the minute, but he's heading down this way, so I'm just gonna let him keep coming. With any luck, he'll come down to the pen and I'll be able to get a shot. Down. Pleased with that. That was quite a stretch as well, but with this setup I'm very confident with that, and that wind sort of dropped a fair bit now. There's still a little bit of a crosswind there, but at that sort of distance not really enough to make too much of a difference. Surprising how much the pulse in that pen, surprising how much that draws foxes in. They soon get to know they're there, and then that's it. They're paying them regular visits. Excellent. Got myself a little celebratory colour ball. I've just had another one call in from down the other end of the valley there. I can make out what I think was the fox. It certainly looked like a fox, but it was a long way off, probably, I think that's probably 1,000 metres down there. But I could see it coming down the bank. Surprisingly, I could pick it out quite well with these. I can't tell if it was a badger or a fox, but I'm pretty sure it was a fox by the way it was moving. And that was the same direction that the calls were coming from. So I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't work its way through the sunflowers to the left here and come over towards the pen. So I'll keep an eye out for that one. Okay, we've got another one coming in. Would you believe he's just chasing a badger back up the field? There's a badger there that was just looked like it picked up a poult or something from the ground, a dead one. was a cracker, that one. That was 322 yards, I think it was. So that just, it was coming in lovely, and then spooked a badger that I hadn't seen. That was just down, just off the side of the, there's a fence line that runs up there, a little bit of a bank, and he was just tucked down inside the bank there. And he obviously found a pheasant poult, one of the dead ones that was out on the grass from the fox attack, and he was carrying that, and the fox chased him up the field, and it ran up and it dropped the poult, and the fox, I think, has picked it up, but it chased the badger off, which is unusual, because normally, whatever I've seen, it's usually the other way around. Badgers will just chase foxes off, but in this case, the fox was pretty bold and chased that badger up the hill. But it also meant it had gone a lot further out than what I sort of really wanted to take it. I ideally wanted to take it just above the power lines, about sort of 250, 260. So it was a little bit further, but it doesn't matter. It smacked it good and proper, and that one's gone down as well. So that's 2 down that were both coming in to the poults around this pen. So definitely anything that had gone over the fence this evening would have quite easily ended up a meal for a fox. So really good to get those 2 out of the way. Anyway, we'll keep watching and see if anything else turns up. Well, I've not seen anything else for a little while now, so I think I've probably had the best of the action there, at least for the meantime. That was good to get a couple off from around the pen there. I'm pleased with that. And then there was the one down by, there's another partridge pen down the other end, which was near to where that first fox was. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have a little drive around the rest of the farm and see if there's anything about. If I don't find anything, then I'll call it a night. But, moon's come out as well. It's quite a full moon now, and I sort of truck and me here sort of stands out quite a bit on this hill now. But anyway, yeah, I think I'll have a little drive around, see if I can see anything else. Little bit at the top of the track here, which is a favourite spot of mine. I can park up and look back over this stubble field that's coming up on my left. There's always a lot of rabbits on that field there, on that stubble, or sort of along the edge of the field. And I shot quite a few foxes off of there as well. So I'm gonna get around to that bit. I'll have a little look back. It's just the edge of it here. Many rabbits and a few hares dotted around. Can't see anything on this bit. We'll go up to the corner and have a look. Yeah, got one out here. that was a nice one to finish on. That was 300 yards, that one. And he was just sat looking straight at me. Well, I say he was looking straight at me, he was when I first saw him. When I actually took the shot, he was like turning back, licking, but it dropped him on the spot, so I'm assuming that's just smacked him straight in the chest. That's sort of where I was aiming. So we're going to have a look. There's our fox, 300 yards or thereabouts. That's one of this year's, and that's taken him straight through the head. So I think he was actually sort of doubled over cleaning, and I'm quite sure where that's hit him, possibly sort of through the chest and then out through the head, but it was pretty instantaneous. Well, I think that's about it for this evening, but we've had a good evening tonight. Managed to thin out quite a few foxes, so yeah, we've done well tonight. It's been very beneficial coming out, so hopefully we've kept a few poults and partridges and that safe. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.